Hi, my name is Nancy Love. I'm the founder of a very fledgling organization I like to call the Planet Peace Project. Some of my writing has helped change people's lives, and as people's lives are changed, so changes the world. I am sharing an essay I wrote several years back on Rosa Parks that I call "The Day Dignity Changed the World." And several people have told me, with tears in their eyes and love in their heart, that this brief 1.5-page essay has helped them change their world. Perhaps it will help change yours. The Day That Dignity Changed the World, by Nancy Love. Ah, the heroes of my childhood. I revered such notables as Albert Einstein, Jacques Cousteau, and Martin Luther King, Jr. And the women? My chosen role models as a young woman growing up in the 1960s and 70s included Gloria Steinem, Madame Curie, and one small black woman named Rosa Parks. One day in 1955, Miss Parks was riding on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. A white man demanded that she give up her seat and move to the back of the bus, as was the custom during those backward and primitive times. I do not know what went on in that woman's mind that day. Maybe she was physically tired, or maybe she was just psychologically worn out by years of living according to rules that were categorically unreasonable and unjust. But I do know that she refused to move, and thereby she proved that she wasn't so small after all. I call that day the day that dignity changed the world. Parks was arrested, which prompted the Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. to organize a boycott of the Montgomery bus system by black citizens. Ultimately, the laws of the entire nation were changed, and it became illegal for public transportation to be racially segregated. Some believe that the civil rights movement of the 60s, the entire civil rights movement of the 60s, began in that moment when Rosa Parks said no more to being treated like a second-class citizen. Actually, the words she said, it is my understanding that what she said was, "No, I will not be moved. No, I will not be moved." It reminds me of something Laurel Thatcher Ulrich once wrote. "Well-behaved women rarely make history." The reader might wonder why all of this was so important to a blonde white girl growing up in Texas. Let me state 2 reasons. First, racial discrimination is part of the same illogical pattern of social abuse that fosters gender discrimination and age discrimination and all the other ways of thinking that cheat individuals in a society of their full range of civil rights. As a person coming of age at a time when we were told women could have it all, I remember also being told to dumb down because men don't like smart women, and noticing that females were still encouraged by educators to become teachers and nurses, not doctors or astronauts. I realized that the same frustrating lack of true freedom in our society that prevented the full range of options from being available to people of color was affecting the options made available to white females as well. Even a white male who has never suffered from racial or gender prejudice will someday get old. Then he may realize that he is diminished in the eyes of many, a victim of age discrimination. Then he may realize that he is diminished in the eyes of many, a victim of age discrimination when applying for a job. He might be referred to as "that old man," a term that negates all of his years of experience and wisdom. He may know the pain and aggravation of discrimination. These issues affect us all, personally, and prevent a society from being egalitarian and enlightened. Second, when discrimination of any sort is perpetuated, it is not just individuals who suffer, but society as a whole. The contributions of many combined create the sum of human achievement. And when we prevent one class, one race, one gender or age group from full contribution, the loss to society is great. We need all of our citizens and their full range of intellect and creativity. We need all of the energy. We need all of the scientific and social advances, and we need all of the solutions that people can contribute if we are going to survive this sometimes dangerous and always complicated era of human history. In short, we need each other. We need each other. There comes a time when a society becomes too complex to tolerate intolerance. Rosa Parks knew this. Martin Luther King Jr. knew it as well. People who fight for civil liberties and equality all over the world know this. They fight valiantly for freedom, not just for some, but for us all. Now, this writer wants to plant a seed in the mind of the reader. When you think that you are just one small person, and that your actions, no matter how courageous or noble, will never matter, remember the day that the incredible courage and dignity of one small woman began a process that changed the world. Remember that social evolution begins in the minds of individuals who have the courage to think brave thoughts. Remember that changes in the vast social arena begin with changes in the private hearts and minds of women and men who want a new and better world. Realize that you too could someday be someone's hero. Realize that you too could someday be someone's hero. This is Nancy Love, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing about the day that dignity changed the world.